Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. It's me coming back from a hiatus that you all probably thought was way too long. But the exact reason for my return this time around isn't to post a debate or some other silly thing. Sadly, the reason I have to make this video is because of the fact that there are some very particular things that I need to address in as succinct a fashion as I can. So, seeing as I'm super long-winded, I'll suggest you go ahead and rewind and use this little intro as time to get your snacks. Don't worry, I'll wait. You back? It's a lot of damn snacks. I mean, whatever. Do your thing, I guess. Let's go ahead and get started, yeah? So, the main thing that I'll be addressing here, and probably the main reason you clicked on this video, was because I needed to address some things that are currently being spread in the community about the situation between Noodles, Swag Kage, Six Paths, Seth the Programmer, and myself. So, the main thing that I'll be addressing here, probably the main reason you clicked on this video, was because I need to address some things that are currently being spread in the community about the situation between Noodles, Swag Kage, Six Paths, Seth the Programmer, and myself. I need no introduction. I want to take the time to address the accusations made by Noodles, and I also wish to call into question whom he calls his friends and what he deems as a valuable member of the community. To begin with, I'd like to start with the accusations of foul play that Noodles talked about. So, what you are seeing up on the screen right now is a screenshot of DMs between Seth and Noodles. The DM call that I supposedly was not privy to at all. It clearly says that the only one who would not be helping is Seth himself, who is going to only give the most basic of information, and it shows Noodles explicitly being told that Six was going to be helping Swag in order to increase his confidence to debate. Now, what this means is that Noodles very obviously lied about a situation in front of a large group of people in order to gain some sort of clout off of it, intentionally misrepresenting the situation in order to make himself look as good as possible in the face of his underwhelming performance against Swag, who he has spent the past few months calling an idiot, not good, etc. And he was even confident enough to continue on with the debate with Swag, even though he knew that Swag was going to be getting help from Six. What Noodles did was simply cover his own ass. He knew for a fact that if he lost to Swag Kage, any hope of maintaining some sort of relevance in the community would be dashed. He'd spent much too long shit talking and bad mouthing Swag to lose, and with his pitched first part of the debate, he got scared. It's natural. So he made up this whole big lie about how Seth is a rat, how Six and Swag cheated, and how I'm just the lying bastard who had no idea what was going on, so I just backed Seth for no reason. So, to address that claim, this is a screenshot of the group chat that Six and Swag were in while they were prepping for the debate. So, while they were talking, I was literally sitting in the same call and listening to them talk, and Seth was silent. In fact, me and Seth were DMing back and forth during the conversation, all while Six and Swag spoke with each other about the scaling. The only time Seth began to contribute to the conversation is when they were discussing how good Six was. Now, to be a bit more egocentric, I'd like to talk about the particular comments he made towards me, these defamatory statements against my impeccable character. Yeah. Anyway, to address Noodles' claim that I lie in order to back Seth and falsely call Surfbone different things, we'll get into that later, I have a few pieces of evidence. The first is the DMs that I posted earlier. Noodles tried to make me out to be some sort of Seth goon who just defended Seth and was never really there for the events when, in actuality, I was present for the conversation and I'd already seen the DMs between the two, so I knew what was going on. This so-called beast, Noodles, likely knew that I knew, and that was why he banned me instead of trying to yell at me like he did with Seth, and as he's done with me previously in the past. Noodles is a cowardly, spineless, subhuman egoist unlike anything I've ever seen, an unabashed narcissist that jumps at the chance to bully others when he perceives himself as being slighted or when believing himself to be in a position of power. He's a manipulator and can work fast when it comes to protecting his fragile ego and keeping his persona up. But sadly, I work a bit faster. See, one of the main gripes that Noodles and I have had over the years is the Surfbone situation. A lot of people who are currently in the community don't understand why I have a strong distaste for Surfbone and why I don't want him present in the community, or preferably in fucking prison. And that's because of the situation. Noodles tends to be vague about this, or he gets defensive about it, because he believes that the trials that I held within the Thunderdome were old news, lost to time immemorial. He believed it to be an event that just happened and would blow over, and he believed that simply by yelling at anyone who brought it up to try and defend Surfbone, uh, they just end up looking so bad and make him look so good by virtue of defending his weaker friend. But this is the 21st century, Noodles. People record everything. So, here is the reason that I accuse Surfbone so strongly.
One last question. Guys, actually, there's one last question. Are you saying that you had sex with a girl who said that she would not have told you yes?
If she was sober because she was in a relationship. She
But
said
she
because she was
said
in a
that.
relationship,
But
she
she
would have
said
said
that if she were in the right mind, she would have said no.
right. But again, she was the one that she.
Wait, but now, Noodles believes that this is defensible. He excuses it as Surfbone being a kid. He didn't know what he was doing. He was forced into it. Boys will be boys and all. But I'm a boy, and I've never raped anyone. Never even thought about it. Noodles somehow finds that having sex with a drunk girl who would not have consented if she were sober, finding that defensible, is deplorable. That's disgusting. That's non-consensual. That's rape. I'm not falsely accusing him of rape. I'm calling him for what he is. I didn't force him to answer the question in the way that he did. He was simply giving his recollection, telling things as he believed they went, telling us as he recalled. That was Surfbone's direct response to the question. This is not a matter of debate. This is not Goku versus Naruto. This is not Giorno versus fucking Yawake. This is discussing Surfbone having sex with a drunk girl who was so drunk that she didn't realize what she was doing when she had sex with him. Intoxicated to the point that he was unable to have sex with her, something that he admits would have never flown if she were sober, on account of her having a boyfriend at the time. Yeah. Noodles, in his sick, twisted mind, believes that Surfbone is somehow right in this situation. He feels as though because he claimed to have raped a girl in a live recording and later changed his story, that he's somehow okay. That he is somehow fine and that the earlier story was quote unquote forced out of him by me. That answer was not coerced, pointed, nor was it double-edged. He could have simply said no. He could have lied, even. But he was honest. And while I would usually say that I respect that, I can't respect it when that honesty shows itself when admitting to having sex with an incredibly intoxicated girl. So, let's say this. Let's say all of what Noodles said was true and that he actually never agreed to letting Six help. Let's go under that fake reality for a moment. All things considered, Seth would be a liar and a rat. Six would be a liar and a rat. I would be a Seth goon, and Swag would be some big Wizard of Oz that was secretly a bad debater behind a curtain. But Noodles defends someone who has literally raped someone else. There is no discussion to be had. There is no debate or back and forth. These are the kinds of people that Noodles associates himself with. He's sick in the head and so far up his own ass that he doesn't realize he's spewing shit. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. See y'all in a year.